You sit down to relax, nothing to do, nowhere to be, and within minutes, something in you starts to itch. You check your phone for no reason. You get up and open the fridge. Even though you're not hungry, you feel restless in a way you can't quite name. This isn't laziness catching up with you. It's something older and far stranger, doing exactly what it was built to do. Doing nothing feels bad, genuinely, physically uncomfortable. And if you've ever wondered why silence and stillness can feel almost unbearable, the answer isn't about willpower or attention spans or modern distraction. It's about survival. For most of human history, being idle was dangerous, not morally dangerous, biologically dangerous. Your ancestors lived in a world with limited calories, unpredictable weather, and constant threats from other groups and other animals. Every hour spent doing nothing was an hour not spent gathering food, building shelter, watching for danger, or strengthening the social bonds that kept the group alive. Idleness didn't just waste time, it could cost you your life or your children's lives. So evolution did something clever. It made stillness uncomfortable. It attached a subtle, persistent sense of unease to inactivity, just enough discomfort to nudge you back into motion. Not pain, exactly, more like an itch that pulls you toward doing something, anything, rather than nothing at all. A psychologist named Timothy Wilson ran a now famous set of experiments at the University of Virginia that revealed just how deep this discomfort runs. Wilson placed participants alone in an empty room with nothing to do but sit with their thoughts for 15 minutes. No phone, no book, nothing. The only other option available to them was a device that delivered a mild electric shock. Something startling happened. A significant number of participants, particularly men, chose to shock themselves rather than sit alone with nothing to occupy their minds. Given the choice between discomfort and doing nothing, many people chose the discomfort. Read that again. People opted for physical pain over unstructured stillness. That should tell you something about how deeply wired this aversion really is. But here's where it gets more interesting. Boredom itself isn't actually the absence of stimulation. It's a signal. Neuroscientists studying attention have found that boredom activates specific neural circuits associated with the search for reward, the same circuitry involved in hunger or thirst. Your brain doesn't experience boredom as nothing happening. It experiences boredom as something being needed, a craving with no clear target. This makes sense once you think about what boredom evolved to do. Hunger tells you your body needs food. Thirst tells you your body needs water. Boredom tells you your mind needs stimulation, information, or opportunity. Because in the ancestral environment, an idle mind wasn't a resting mind. It was a mind that had stopped scanning for the next resource, the next threat, or the next opportunity to improve its situation. A researcher named John Eastwood, who has spent much of his career studying the psychology of boredom, describes it as the uncomfortable feeling of wanting to be engaged in a satisfying activity but being unable to do so. Notice what that definition implies. Boredom isn't emptiness. It's a kind of hunger with nowhere to point itself. This explains something strange about modern life. You would think that after millions of years of evolution rewarding productivity and vigilance, humans would have simply become comfortable with hard work and uncomfortable with rest. But that's not quite what happened. What actually developed is a brain that is uncomfortable with unstructured time specifically. Time with no clear goal, no clear stimulation, and no clear direction. Structured rest, sleep, for instance, feels fine. Unstructured stillness, sitting and staring at a wall, does not. Here's the modern twist. For nearly all of human history, there was no easy way to escape this discomfort. If you were bored, you were still stuck in the same field, the same cave, the same small circle of people with nothing to distract yourself with. Boredom had nowhere to go, so eventually it did something remarkable. It turned inward. Idle moments became the birthplace of storytelling, art, music, and reflection. Some researchers argue that boredom, uncomfortable as it is, may have been one of the essential pressures that pushed early humans toward creativity and innovation in the first place. Discomfort with doing nothing may have quietly built the entire foundation of human culture. Now compare that to your life today. The moment restlessness sets in, you have an escape within arm's reach, a phone loaded with an infinite scroll of content, engineered specifically to relieve the discomfort of boredom the instant it appears. Your ancient discomfort with idleness hasn't gone anywhere, but the outlet for that discomfort has changed completely. Where boredom once pushed your ancestors toward invention, connection, and reflection, it now often pushes you toward a screen that offers relief without requiring anything of you at all. This isn't a story about willpower failure. It's a story about a very old system meeting a very new environment. Your ancestors' itch to escape idleness kept them alive. Your itch to escape idleness now gets quietly redirected almost every single time toward the nearest available distraction. So the next time you find yourself unable to sit still, unable to simply exist in a quiet room without reaching for your phone, understand what's actually happening. You are not weak. You are not incapable of stillness. You are carrying an ancient alarm system that once meant the difference between survival and starvation, now firing in a world that has nothing left for it to warn you about. You sit down to relax. Nothing to do, nowhere to be, and within minutes, something in you starts to itch, the same ancient itch that once built fires, told stories, and kept your ancestors alive long enough to become you.